Hello, everyone. This is your host, Mary Haswood Fernandez of Leadership, Legacies, and Legends Unleashed podcast. We're back for season 2, and we're so excited. We learned so much last season, and it was dedicated to my hometown, the city of Portsmouth, Virginia. And this year, we have come right out the gate meeting some of the most amazing leaders, mentors, coaches, and people that are all around us. You know, leaders come from all walks of life, and people have a voice and they have things they want to do in their lifetime. Tonight's guest is someone very special. This is the awesome Michelle Ward. Michelle has a heart to serve. She has been in service of mankind for as long as she can remember, even back to college days. So I'm so excited to introduce you to Michelle Ward. Michelle, hello, and tell us a little bit about you so that we
Well,
can
hi, Mary. Thank you for having me tonight. And I'm just excited to share my journey up to this point in life. So I do have a servant's heart. And I feel that it was probably discovered a long time ago. And just the Lord keeps on letting it bloom. And hopefully I'm getting better as I get older.
Beautiful, beautiful. One of the things I was most impressed with was how you began to get into public service and community service early in your life. And very often, young people have desires and things they want to do, and they never know where they're going to end up. But you have evolved constantly. So, back in the college days, how did you connect to public service and community service?
Well, I think even to back that up just a little bit is
Uh-huh.
my mother always had a servant's heart.
Hmm.
So we were raised to help others in the community, help others in our church. Um, she's a great baker. So, that'll always make someone feel better, right? A cake,
Absolutely.
um, chocolate pie. So we always were taught to give and to comfort other people. And I went to Liberty University, and we would have to do community service as part of our curriculum. A lot of Christian colleges require you to do a community service. So I really think that's where it started for me.
Hmm.
And then as I graduated from college, my first job was in customer service. And I think I just found my niche, that I loved helping people. I loved educating people. I loved giving, and I just, and I know that seems very little, but as a person fresh out of college, I worked for Corning Glass. And as we laugh, people are very passionate when they break their Corelle butterfly gold dishes.
Yeah.
And they can get very passionate. I call irate customers sometimes passionate. That's my go-to customer service word is
Yeah.
passionate. I still use that to this day. People are very passionate about things, and it just amazed me that if people could get that upset over maybe a dish
Hmm.
or a cup or a piece of Corningware, that you know if I could make their life a little better and just by listening to them, what amazing things could you do on a serious level of someone that's really having something that is burdening their heart? And so I think over, the years that I've been in customer service, it, um, it's even evolved into me helping women through pain and through I just feel that I feel that's my niche as well on a spiritual side, even using my own experiences in life that of course in my 20s had no idea,
Hmm.
um, but we all learn from our experiences. So and to continue to share those, I think it's a journey. Everyone has a story. It's whether or not they want to share it.
So true, so true. And as we live our lives, our parents do seed greatly into our destiny. I know my mother also was about taking care of everyone in the community and
Yes.
helping everyone. And that in turn was seeded into us. Your job and career portion before business development of serving others and making sure you pay attention with heart and care to that client, that is extremely important today because so many people are speaking about issues with customer service.
Mhm.
And what would you say to some of the workforce today who do not relate to how important the customer is versus their personal bad day? When they transmit that to the customer and the customer is transmitting their bad day, what would you say to the average working person today to bring that in a little bit?
Well, I think a lot of times you have to check your personal luggage at the door
Yes, yes.
when you go into work.
Mm-hmm.
Not to dismiss it, because we all have stuff, right? We all have issues and we have to bring it to work sometimes. Um, but for me, that's a lot of times when your faith comes into place, and you have to kind of. I used to have this saying when I worked for the state of Virginia, and that was a tough job. I had about 20 employees. When you're working with people with unemployment and people having a loss of a job, and then having 20 employees working with those type of people that are coming, when people came by to stop to see us at the Virginia Employment Commission, they weren't by there to say hello, to see how we were doing.
Right.
Something traumatic had happened in their life, a loss of a job, income, and even for me to be a cheerleader for my own staff, and I don't even like to say my own staff. We were a team, and us as a team, it's not mine. We really worked in our community as a team, and they just, I was just honored to be the manager of that, the leader, that they allowed me to do that. And they were really they were what made it tick,
Yes, yes.
and it was the team. And, you had to be a cheerleader. I was also, to me, that was one of my biggest, sometimes you take your pom-poms from your ankles up to your knees, and that's all you can get sometimes.
That's true.
But and I just think customer service is very important. And no matter what type of job that you have, whether it's fast food, we are all customers of each other.
Yes.
Whether you're saying, oh, well, I don't work with the public. No, but you work with 5 other people in your office
Yes.
or in your building, and you're still internal customers. There's an internal customer and external customer. We're all customers of each other.
All of us. One thing I really liked that you just said was check your personal issues at the door. And the fact that you respect the team, but teams work when they have leadership. And so your kind leadership, or your inclusive leadership, made it a great working environment for the team. The fact that you had employees and then you work with the public, those are two different teams. And to train that team to represent the company. Today, that's a challenge. We have a lot of new jobs that are out there and not enough skilled workers because there's so many things they haven't been taught, like how to work with the public, how to show up for these new level skilled jobs. As a former manager of Virginia Employment Commission, what would you say to the workforce today to get them excited about being part of a team, working for someone else?
Well, I think it seems like no matter what age we're in or generation, soft skills are very important. And soft skills are, people say, what is a soft skill?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it can be anywhere from, your demeanor, your dress, your attitude. Soft skills is not the qualifications that actually get you the job because of the job description.
Mm-hmm.
That's soft skills are the icing on the cake, right?
Absolutely.
Soft skills. I know one time I interviewed for an opening, and I had 2 qualified applicants.
Mm-hmm.
One applicant was superior as far as their skills meeting the job description.
Mm-hmm.
Their personality was less to be desired.
All right, all right.
And then the other almost had all the qualifications, but was dynamic in their interview of their soft skills, their mannerisms, the way they addressed, the way they conducted themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I will hire that type of person 100 times over, because you can't teach someone a personality. And you can't teach them the actual skills.
So,
And because you need someone as a team. I know one time when I was interviewing for the manager position, I was on a panel. It was a panel interview.
Mm-hmm.
And someone asked me, what is the difference between a leader and a manager?
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is an excellent question.
Yes, I do too.
And because some people don't understand what the difference is.
Mm-hmm.
And my personal take on that was a a manager is exactly what that is, managing things, managing people. It's almost kind of like a structure, right? Manage, manage, manage.
Yes,
To me, a leader has followers,
yes,
and,
yes.
I don't mean that in a way of dictatorship.
Right,
I
right.
mean that as a team, followers of the same mission, not followers of a dictator.
I love it. I love it.
Yes,
Teamwork makes
yes,
the dream work. And I believe that in order to be a great leader, you must first be a great follower. Otherwise, other term, team player. I
right.
like the soft skills you brought up. That right now, that's a heavy need in the marketplace. A lot of young adults entering the marketplace are into internet, social media, non-human exchange.
Contact.
Right. And so
Hmm.
now they have difficulty communicating. And this that you're offering is a workshop in itself that to get the job is not just the skills, it is your personality and your communication. So I know that that's what employers are probably looking for now. Now that you've left that environment and you find yourself today in communications and more community relations, tell us how have you shifted because your leadership skills are still crisp and sharp.
Well, still, you want to take that into, I'm very fortunate where I work now. Um, if our client is, say, a school, we have a school over in the peninsula. Well, I still do career days, right? Which is exciting because I get to tap back into my experience. Um, I try to take every position that I've had up to now in life and use those as transferable skills into my new employment. I think we all can have transferable skills if we look hard enough.
Yes.
And so it's always interesting, like, how in the world am I working for a telecommunications company, but I still get to teach children how to do soft skills and how to dress for success and how to interview and what does an employer expect and how to write a resume. And it's so neat that I continue to be able to do that, but represent the company that I work for, because we're very community oriented. And so right now what I do is business development, but business development is also clients. Anywhere you work, you're going to have customers or clients. So my job, it was easy to step into this role. I used to work for water and wastewater industry in Florida before I moved here. Never worked in the water industry in my life. And but for some reason they saw something in my skills that were transferable enough, saying, you know what, we can teach her water and wastewater, but we want her to represent our company. Again, the Lord has really blessed me. I've never worked in technology. And however, someone said, you know what, but we want her to represent our company. And to me, that is an honor. And it's a responsibility for me to learn the product of what I'm selling, what we represent. But for me, when I'm in business development, it's not really the product, it's the relationship. I'm not selling any product for me. I'm not a salesperson, but what I am is I'm a relationship builder, which is very important in a business that you build relationships.
Yes.
And we even came up, well, personally myself, I wanted to study what is the mission of our company that I work for now. And when I sit there and listen to the two brothers that own the company, their mission is, they're a small company and they're growing. So hopefully I'm helping them grow.
Yes.
This is what I came up with our slogan. They're dedicated to partnerships for lifetime relationships.
Yes, yes. I love that. I love that. These transferable skills, that's a message to women and the workforce of all ages.
We all have them, but
We
they just don't see
do.
their potential. And I love tapping into some lady when she goes, I never can do this, or I couldn't do the job you could do. But when you go back and dissect their skills, they're amazed at themselves that they have
Absolutely.
all that potential. And it's so neat to see the light bulb and the glow go. And that's why I love to help women flourish,
Yeah.
because they do have it. They do.
That is so important. You know, I've watched professionally highly skilled women leave one career and then start something new, and I see them shrink into doubt and questioning, and what am I doing? Who do I think I am? This transferable skill power and message that you have for women, how would you put it in a nutshell? You can do anything with skills that you've had in this new world, especially when you have people skills. So your message to women or people trying to transition from what they were good at to what the world needs now, how would you encourage them?
Well, I saw that when I used to work for the Virginia Employment Commission. Think of how many jobs that are no longer in existence.
Yes.
A sewing machine operator,
Yes.
right? You
Yes.
know, back in the 60s and 70s, people, that a lot of the manufacturing, there are a lot of those roles that no longer exist.
Right.
But guess what? You showed up to work on time. You were the leader of your line. You learn new skills. You're the person they always sent to training. Well, put that down. Those are valuable resources that you have when you say, oh, I don't have that skill, but you have so much more. You have so much more than that. And to me, employers are looking for that type.
Yeah.
Unless it's something specific, like it might, I mean, you got to have a degree in order to be an engineer. We understand that.
Yes.
But there are so many things that you can transfer your skills to.
That's awesome. There was a meeting I was attending earlier today, and the keynote speaker was mentioning pouring into the youth right now with skills and what it takes to work in the workforce. Even if college is one of their choices, and then the skill to help them make the money and then add to their education down the road. So,
Well, I'll give you three choices.
okay.
When I used to speak to students, I have a brother and a sister, so it's three of us.
Okay.
And I have a bachelor's degree. My sister has a master's degree.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother chose not to go to college,
Mm-hmm.
but what he chose to do was to do a trade,
Yes.
and he's an electrician. Now he owns his own business. And so my message, especially since you brought up young people, is be successful in whatever you choose to do, whether it's a bachelor's or business, a master's or a trade.
Yes.
But you can be successful in any of those areas.
That's exactly what I was trying to say. You put it right there for me.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
I want that.
And just my spiritual, we've talked a little bit about my career, but you know, as a woman of faith, doesn't mean I'm a woman of perfectionist, but or being perfect. I'm a woman of faith that needs grace. So anyone that's listening to this is, I don't want to paint a rosy picture of, I know a lot of times when I used to go to Christian women conferences and so forth, you think the speakers that get up there and speak like, gosh, I wish I had my life together like she did, right? Or she's gotten up and given her business talk or her Christian walk during her business. But I think as we talk, we also need to be real. And
human. They want to know you don't paint, you don't hurt, you don't cry, you've never done any of those things, you're perfect. But we know that's not the case.
The difference is we all need grace.
Grace. I love that. I love that. And you're a courageous, victorious overcomer, which is what I say for champion women. The fact that you're here, I want the listeners to know human resources, head of employment commission, those used to be intimidating positions because we didn't receive those individuals as real people with real pains and understanding. But to look behind the curtain and to meet you and to share you with the public, it is, there are good people out there who want to make a difference.
Yes.
Show up with your best self, and your best self, and you can hear the person in front of you. But I heard that colorful thing you said about sometimes people just don't receive you well, and they come with the colorful languages and you come back softly.
Yes, yes. That is one of my things. My sister uses that as a school teacher too. She tells her students, let's not use colorful language.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's just perfect, right? As adults, we many times use colorful language when we're passionate about something. But working in customer service for over 30 years, to me, it's someone's upset, someone doesn't understand the process or the procedure.
Yes.
And if you can educate someone without demeaning them, giving them respect, like I said, it can always be, I've always thought when I talk to people, that could be my mother, that could be my grandmother, that could be my brother, that could be my sister. And it's because usually when people call you, it's because they're not the expert. They're calling you because you are the expert.
Yes.
So you need to take that very seriously when someone's calling you with a problem or an issue. And I used to have a saying when I worked for the state is even if we can't give that person exactly what they asked for when they walk through the door, give them something. Don't let them walk out of here, even if it's, sometimes people unfortunately got denied unemployment, but also give them hope.
Yes.
Give them what we can give them. We can give them hope. We can refer them to another agency. We can be kind to them. You can give them kindness. You can give them respect. You can, those are things you can give.
Right.
And I think when we're in customer service, no matter what we're doing, Mary, we forget that sometimes. And even whether it's in the ministry, when it's in business, we have to be gently reminded sometimes of it's our approach of how when we work.
A lot of individuals are going to be very happy to have heard this input and this perspective that you brought to the table. One of the things I wanted to turn the curve a little bit. What is your passion in life in one sentence? I know that's not possible.
You're talking to a talker, right? You're asking me to have one sentence.
No, I can't do that either, so I won't restrict you. But just want the listeners to get to hear your heart, as I have heard clearly throughout this entire conversation. That one passion in life is
Serve.
serve. Very good. You have definitely done that, and you're the right.
I want to have the gift of being a servant.
And Jesus was a servanthood leader. All right. Number 2, how would you like to be remembered?
I think life, for all of us, you can have pain, right? Life can either be bitter or better. And I think you have to choose to be better.
All right. Choose to be better.
And I think one time I heard this sermon, and it says you're either up or you're getting up.
Oh, yes. So appropriate. We're living in such a different time of so many different stresses and emotional changes and visual changes and relationship changes. I mean, it's just almost like static. And here we are, we're starting a new adventure, a brand new slate. And what closing remarks would you like to give the listeners as you just wrap up your life of servanthood leadership, servanthood given from community to business development? You have made your life a full circle go give experience.
Well, I think I've done some presentations since I've been to the Hampton Roads area about connecting and networking in the business. And at the end, I have some journey notes. And I know you and I have talked a little bit about that PowerPoint that I do the presentation. There's just a couple journey notes that I'd like to share as we close. But and I've kind of got them here to the side because I had about 10 or 12 of them. But some are some of my favorites. If you are starting a new journey, remember dead stumps grow back and thrive.
Oh, yes. Please, more. I like that.
And I've been a dead stump.
A dead
So,
stump.
and here I am, and I did survive.
Yeah.
So, focus on the positive and not the disappointments.
Yes, yes.
And there's as I kind of look through these, and hopefully this is just a tease if anybody ever wants to listen to my presentation,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
is trust in the plan and not the fear.
Yes, fear is
I
a
think
stopper.
yes, and I think even in business and in our spiritual life,
Mm.
a delayed answer is not a denial.
So true, so true. I love those notes. Is there you've presented to the chambers on the
Mhm.
peninsula as well as the Hampton Roads
Yes.
chamber, and you've spoken into the community. And the main message you gave them was what?
Um, I would say that a lot of it, I've been in the area for 3 years, and they're like, how do you know so many people? You just moved here, you didn't know anyone, you knew the family that you're working for, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And so they asked me to do some presentation on networking. And I said, I don't have a magic formula. I can't give you the magic formula for everyone, but I could share my journey.
Yeah.
And probably just and that's what I did. That when I did the presentation, I was actually sharing my story, not really a magic formula.
Mm-hmm.
And my availability. Hey, if I can help you in your journey, and there's something I've shared with you that you'd like to explore in detail, I'd be happy to.
Mm-hmm.
But I think one of the best notes of my journey was that my knowledge has been shaped out of my weaknesses, not my strengths.
Amen. Amen. You've done a beautiful job of sharing your expertise and your journey and your wisdom and the humanity behind those who serve the public and those who lead teams who serve the public.
Yeah.
And there's so much we can learn from what you shared. And I know your skills are in high demand, and I know you're very happy with what you do. So, if people wanted to reach out to you, is there a book or a presentation or public speaking? Is there any way people that want to reach out to you, Miss Michelle? Is
Oh,
there
sure.
something
I'm
you
on.
offer?
Yes, well, I'm on LinkedIn, and
Okay.
it's under Michelle Ward. And I know my company would not mind me sharing who I work for. I work for South Bay Communications and Security,
Mm-hmm.
and also Mary, they certainly can get a hold of you directly,
Yes.
and I would be happy to talk with anyone, or share my presentation, share my journey notes.
Mm-hmm.
I know that, like I said, I have been asked to speak at several women's organizations as well,
Mm-hmm.
and just I'm just sharing my journey.
Amen.
Like I said, I'm just sharing my journey, and if someone wants to listen to my journey and it can help them, then I'm just pleased that I can do that, and that I have been given the platform to do that. I want to say, oh, sometimes I'll say, I'm not sure how I got here, but I do know how I got here.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and because you know what, we can't orchestrate things like this on our own.
No. No. No, we can't. Right place, right time. No coincidences, God incidences.
And how did I end up here tonight, Mary? Right?
Amy?
Us forming our friendship. So,
Oh my goodness. I wish I could tell our listeners how Michelle and I connected and how
yeah.
much we share in common. We even had a second meeting, and at that second meeting, everything I was saying or everything she was saying, it was like looking at a mirror. Her life almost mirrored mine. So I am delighted to have Michelle as one of my friends, ladies. And we're working on a project together, and you'll get to hear more about that later. But Michelle has a host of skills and connections and information and inspiration. And if you are an organization needs a guest speaker to help women in transition, to help youth finding their way at a young age into the marketplace, whether you have a degree or whether you start with a trade, there is a place for you in this world to succeed. Well, we're
And we're also, Mary, I'm also working on, someone's asked me to work on client retention, and I will be doing a presentation on how to date your client.
that is perfect. What about employee retention? Because I hear now that it's an employee's market because
Yep.
it's difficult to, even for all the skills of paying jobs, it's people are finding it difficult to go back to work, but they still have needs.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
create something around that, how to get your employees running for you instead of you running for them, because once upon a time it was the employer was looking for, we were looking for the employer, but now the employer
Yes.
is looking for a workforce.
Job seekers market for sure. So, but yeah, job
Job
seekers
seekers
market.
market.
But
Learn
thank you
how to
so much for having me, Mary. I just and just sharing part of my story and working, like I said, we're excited on working a project together. So we'll be
yeah.
sharing that as well. So
Yes, we have so much we wanted to share tonight and so much we wanted to talk about, but I really, being a talker, just like Michelle is, I wanted to keep the spotlight and focus on her array of skills and her survivor skills and her heart to serve others, how she has made a beautiful life um, in the industry of a go give spirit. Well, this episode is about to be wrapped up, but I sure enjoyed being with Michelle. She is a jewel, and I thank God for connecting us. She was a referral, ladies. I was looking for information, and she connected me to what I was looking for. But from there, we just started to connect, and I just love and adore this beautiful spirit. So, this is Leadership Legacies and Legends. We are about to wrap up this episode. We're into season 2, and I wanted you to meet that array of beautiful personalities that are out there. There are leadership positions that we carry in our job and in our families, in our communities. And their legacy is the next generation of successful people who have gleaned from their lives. And the legend will be told someday when you will say, I remember when I met Michelle, and now look at me, and look at how what she did and what she said impacted my life. So, Leadership Legacies and Legends are getting ready to sign off. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, all your favorite listening sites. And this episode will air soon on a Thursday morning at 8 a.m. So look for Michelle Ward on LinkedIn. Definitely connect with her. And if you need a speaker, really look and up Michelle. She is really skilled and talented. I thank you for listening today. I have enjoyed this conversation with you, Michelle. Thank you so much for being our guest tonight. Everyone, you have a great evening, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Don't forget to download and share and subscribe. Thanks, Michelle.
bye bye.
Bye bye.